goes up in the ride. Science magic side by side. Experiments we can't deny. Let's see how high we can fly. In the lab or in the yard. STEM with legs, it ain't too hard. We build, we move, we see the spark. Learning here leaves a mark. The science with legs, come on, join the quest. Hands-on learning, we're the best. Hey, hey, come on kids, let's do the test.
Hey guys, welcome to Lexus STEM Lab. So I have another exciting episode for you today. We're continuing with our STEM career segment, and today I have you, Dr. Cortez Lewis.
Hey y'all.
So I'm going to let him introduce himself. He'll tell us what type of doctor he is, and then we'll get going.
So my name is Cortez Ramon Lewis. Cortez is my first name. Lewis is my last name, believe it or not. A lot of people in Florida think it's backwards, but my mom named me Cortez as the first name, okay? So it's Dr. Cortez Lewis. I am an optometrist, and I practice here in Melbourne, Florida.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you tell us where you're from?
I am originally from West Helena, Arkansas. It is the delta of southeast Arkansas. We always like to say it's about 45 minutes outside of Memphis, Tennessee. You cross that Mississippi bridge, go through Tunica, Mississippi, and you're right in Memphis. So I always tell people that Memphis, Tennessee is closer to me in my hometown than it is for me to drive to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, it's giving Memphis cousins. I love it. I love it. You know, a little something, something. So thinking back to grade school, what kind of student were you, or what kind of student would your teachers say you were?
I think I was a pretty good student during my grade school years. Come from a very militant family, so we had to do things and we had to do it a certain way. And white grades and education was a big thing in our household. So I feel like education-wise, I didn't finish with the high GPA, but I think I finished around a 3.4, 3.3, which was, in my opinion, is doing well.
Absolutely, a 3.4. You too can have a 3.4.
You know.
Hey. And then I guess while we're on that subject, did you do any sports or anything while you were in high school?
Sports, yes. Track and field was my big thing in high school. And I really only did it because my friends did it and I needed an outlet after school. So it's one of those things where football wasn't my thing, basketball wasn't my thing, but I can run track and field. It's something that I can continually grind and be consistent in the workouts. And I know that in that I can get better and I can compete versus a lot of the other sports out there. So track and field was my thing through all through high school, all through 12th grade. We held the record in Arkansas for the 4x800 meter, which I finished at a 159 in my leg. So we held that record for a lot of years. So I'm very proud of going to the meet of champs, conference, all those things.
Fire. So thinking back to when you were in school, what was your favorite subject?
I ain't gonna say PE.
Listen, somebody else told me lunch. So listen, make it happen.
Whenever I could get a break from my favorite subject, but each of them has a block schedule. I feel like I always kind of lean towards the sciences, so anything dealing with biology, botany, and sciences, I kind of like that stuff.
And do you think that kind of led to your career in optometry?
I ain't gonna say exactly that. I kind of have another driving force that, you know, in my family, at a certain age, you gotta get out, you gotta make your way. And back in the day, everybody either going to the military or they're going off to school, or they're just going to work right out of high school. So for me, it was like, hey, I need to be able to leave. I need room and board. I need a place to stay. I need all that. So college provided that during those early years of life until I kind of figured out what do I really want to do. Yeah.
Now, what was your least favorite subject?
Least favorite is always going to be anything mathematics. It don't matter if it's I'm just not a math guy like that. I'll grab the calculator real quick.
That's all right. So what degrees or certifications do you have?
Currently, I have a degree in biology. That was my undergrad degree that I finished with. I stuck with it. It's traditionally 4 years. It took me 5 years, but, you know, it gets hard towards the end of those years, okay? So we did finish it. So I have a bachelor's degree in biology, and currently I have a doctorate of optometry degree practicing the profession of optometry.
And then where did you get those 2 degrees from?
The first degree, which was my biology degree. I always like to plug in Alabama State University because I did attend that school for 3.5 years, my first 3.5 years of undergrad. ran track and field there, so I always give them a shout out. But my actual undergrad degree came from Auburn University in Montgomery, Alabama, which was right down the street from Alabama State at the time. They had the pre-optometry program that I needed at the time, and that was what I did. I transferred to kind of make my dream come true.
Isn't that cute? Now, where'd you get your optometry degree from?
Optometry degree. Well, you apply for all types of schools, and you want to get in where you can get in. But I applied to Nova Southeastern University, one of the schools I wanted to go to. Never been to Florida, by the way, but I said, you know what? Whoever takes me, I'll go. Of course, I applied to the school in Memphis, Tennessee. I think it's called Southern, if I remember correctly. But Nova Southeastern University gave me my opportunity to be able to practice the profession.
Okay, shout out to the Sharks.
For the diversity there. So
Hello.
I love it down there.
So can you describe your career path and how'd you get to this profession?
Well, professionally, in undergrad, I really just said that I kind of went to school because that was the next thing to do out of high school. I did choose biology as my major because I had an interest in the sciences, but didn't know how hard that was going to be. But I did tell myself that I would not change my major no matter how hard it got. So I will say that the first couple years or so, I was kind of coasting. And then my roommate at the time, his name was Cam. We were on a track and field team together, rooming us together. He actually introduced me. He said, you should go see Dr. Ford. And he was like, that's my optometrist. He's about a mile away from the school. He said, you should check him out. If you don't want to figure out what you want to do, he may be able to help. And I never thought about optometry before that. I only thought about dentistry, pharmacy, maybe being a chiropractor, but optometry was not on the radar. But I did go visit Dr. Ford, and he was welcoming. His team was welcoming. His staff was awesome, and I would at least go once a week to see him. Even if I had nothing to do, even if I was busy, I got to go see Dr. Ford to show my face. And he was kind enough to kind of let me come in the back, watch and shadow what he was doing, which made me see like, okay, he is someone that looks like me, to be honest. That's what kind of really sparked it. It was somebody that looked like me in the profession, doing well, very successful. So Dr. Jeffrey Ford was allowing me to shadow him at least once or twice a week. Whenever I come in, come on to the back. So that kind of ability to be able to shadow and have someone like a mentor in your corner that's rooting for you, that want to see you do well, that was what really made me choose the profession of optometry. He told me, he said, you got to get the grades. You got to take the test. But he knew people. He said, I can write you a letter of recommendation and I can call around and see if we can get you on the list. And that was big for me.
Amen. That's amazing. So what type of skills do you think that you need to be an optometrist?
I think to be an optometrist, you do have to have some people skills. You got to be able to talk to people. I remember vividly one brilliant young guy in my class, and he made it pretty far, all the way to fourth year. He was clinically, he can do the book work, he can take the test, but when it's time to deal with people, one-on-one interaction, it might have been a little bit hard for him, sweating profusely, kind of shaky a little bit. So that kind of cut his career a little bit short, because no matter how smart you are, you got to be able to relate to people and have empathy for what they have going on. So I think that you got to be a people person. You got to know your left from your right. That's very, very important. Left from the right eye. We don't want to be doing the wrong thing. We don't want to mix the prescription up, because the patient can go out wearing the wrong glasses and possibly get in an accident, right? That's a liability, right? So attention to detail is very, very big. Passion for people is very, very big. And it's the one profession that you can do and you can give someone instant gratification. Going from not being able to see things to now putting on a pair of glasses, it can change your perspective very quickly. So a lot of first-time patients we like to say, like especially kids, never seen the world clearly, and to put on that first pair of glasses and their face blows up and they light up, that's an amazing thing. And I think it starts from a very, very young age.
Absolutely. Were you wearing glasses when you were a kid as well?
Yeah, I've been in glasses since the first grade. And I always thought my vision was bad because we used to have to clean. We had weekend chores that we had to do. And I cleaned the restroom, and I used to be with the chemicals a lot, and I used to get stuff in my eyes, and they burnt badly, sometimes for hours. And I'm like, you're just gonna blink it out as a kid, you're gonna tough it out. But my thinking, like, maybe I had a few chemical burns back in the day that I just ignored, right? And maybe that's the reason why my vision's bad. Seeing that my parents, my dad or my mom, neither of them wear glasses. Well, they're in their older ages now, so they wear reading glasses for close work. But as far as needing to see distances like I need, they never had that.
Maybe you just got the glasses trade. They was like, somebody has to get this. You don't win the lottery.
Somebody, right? So, hey, I'm blessed to be around.
Hello. Hello. Y'all better get in with it. Absolutely. And I know you kind of touched on that doctor previously. Did you have any mentors or any role models prior to him or including him?
Yeah, I would say my biggest role model, it had nothing to do with optometry, but would be my coach Ronald Williams, which was my track and field coach. He always pushed me, taught me a lot of discipline, taught me how to fight through pain, taught me how to never quit, never give up. What you start, you finish. So no matter how hard school would get, no matter what I was facing, if I started something and agreed to do something, I need to finish it. So that was going to be a role model from a male figure standpoint. And there's probably many more, but it's one that stuck with me, like Coach Ronald Williams and like a Dr. Jeffrey Ford, things like that. Like a Dr. Bacigalupi, who actually gave me my interview, things like that. Dr. Crandall, right? People who interviewed me, they made a big difference in what my next step in life would look like.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what does a day in a life look like for you?
Usually, at this point in my life, it's changed over time. It has changed, but now, going from single to married to one kid up to 4 kids, it looks different in a household. So typically, I try to be up by 4:30 to be at the gym by 5 a.m. And I may go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. If I'm feeling good, maybe 5, right? Not consistent, but I go, right? So I would say I get up, I'm in the gym by 5:15. I'm back at home by 7 a.m. I'm the breakfast and the lunch guy in the house. So when I get home from the gym, I know that I need to lay out breakfast for all the kids, as well as their lunches planned for the day, packed up and ready to go so that they can get ready and then go to school, right? So I'm that guy. That's the first thing I'm doing after I leave the gym. I get myself ready around 8:15, 8:30, and I have to be at work at my office to see my first patient around 9 a.m. So that's a typical morning for me, which is kind of like the most hectic. Going from gym to kids to getting ready then to work is back to back to back, right? We're moving. Patient flow, I try to see up to 17 to 20 patients a day, 10 in the morning, 10 in the evening. We do try to have a walk-in slot or a medical slot in case there's an emergency. Somebody needs to be seen. We want to have space to see them. Lunch is somewhere around 12:30 to 1:30, so I get a little break to go ahead and wind down and get ready for that second flow of patients. After that, getting home around 6:30, you got to chart, you got to clean up the office, you got to do things. But when I'm finally home again, that is time for me to be with my family, be with my kids, whether we're taking a walk down the streets, whether we're riding electric scooters down the block and back, just time to be with them before they go to bed at night. After that, that's what I call my free time, whether I'm with my wife or whether I'm doing something, watching a movie, on my phone, whatever it is, it's my time to wind down after about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Nice.
And you repeat that the next day.
And then the next day.
And the next day, it's adulting.
It's adulting. Now, how does it work for you? I know you have some days, is it your Tuesdays where you open up later and then you close later?
Yes.
How does that day look like for you?
So Tuesdays is a day where, I had to have a space for people who are getting out work late and for kids who are getting out of school who may not be able to take advantage of the early hours on the day. So that's my late day, which is Tuesday. We're 1 to 8 p.m. And that's usually our busiest day because it provides some flexibility for parents. We do still take that hour lunch. It's random hour lunch though, 4:30 to 5:30. People are knocking on the door. I'm like, we're at lunch. They're like, lunch? We should have been ate lunch, right? And I'm like, well, this is our late day. So I have to constantly explain that over and over. But on a Tuesday night is a night that we're open all the way to 8 p.m. So anytime you feel like I need to get in there, we can make space for you on a day like that.
Absolutely. So parents, you don't have any excuse. They are open until 8 o'clock on Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Yes, please bring the kids. We got movies. We got a little bit of snacks. You're going to be in and out. We got glasses. We got shirts.
We got glasses. We got merch. We got educational books for them that I love for them to sit while they're waiting around. They're able to kind of entertain themselves. Tablets on here. So we make sure that while they're waiting, they're comfortable. Okay. Very open space in here. So it's no clutter. Easy, fresh air in here. Feels good. It feels very homey in here, which we like that. But yeah, parents, if you work late, right? Tuesdays are a great night to come for an exam for your kids.
Absolutely.
Or for yourself. We see adults too.
They surely do. Please come. I come, to be honest. What can I say?
You know what I'm saying?
A free plug. I'm trying to tell y'all this is where it's at. So can you tell us something funny that's happened at work?
Funny. I think funny stuff happens all the time. A lot of times it's funny when I think about ways I can improve as a doctor versus managing a practice as a business owner. It's always funny to me, or at least eye-opening to me when we have one-on-ones, we have quarterly meetings with our team, and to hear their perspective of how, I might be Mr. Meister walking through the office. I'm focused, I'm zoned in, I'm patient centered. And so a lot of things that they have going on, like, I'm just like, let's just get it done. Let's just hear. I'm passing things off. And they're like, Doc, slow down, slow down. So when it's time for me to sit in the hot seat, I have to do that sometimes and hear critique. Here are ways I can improve as a manager, as someone who is responsible for team members. So it's always funny to hear different perspectives, and some of these things I do know about myself, but to the realization that other people also think like, hey, sometimes you're a little high strung. Whoo, Doc, I'm stressed out today, right? And it's just, oh, Doc, are you okay today? Are you? And sometimes it's just my demeanor. I got that. I can walk around with that face. That's just how God made my face. I'm happy. I promise I'm happy on the inside.
On the inside.
I'm happy.
On the outside,
It's
he's
just,
thinking, brainstorming.
I can't help it.
That's okay. And then, is there any specific tools or equipment or software that you use at work?
Yes. So I'm a big believer in efficiency in the workplace. And we're going to see a certain amount of patients per day. We need to have our processes in order. Okay. So with me, a big thing that I use for communicating within the office is the Weave platform. And that allows me to text my team members. I don't have to walk in, hey, let me get this, let me get that. We can text each other back and forth just like we were on our phones from the computers. That allows us to be able to talk to one another, send each other tasks within the office versus like writing on sticky notes and forgetting where you put it. So I think that's very important, that Weave platform. And that same platform allows me to communicate with patients via text, via just a simple message, right? And it's, hey, your glasses are ready for pickup. Hey, reminder for your appointments, things like that. I really enjoy like seamless flow. Even when it comes to our patient check-in, we like to have things electronically done, so that if they haven't happened to the building, we still got your records. We didn't lose all your charts, things like that. And efficiency within the office. If paperwork is done, we're getting you in here, we're getting you out. You feel like, it was a successful day.
Absolutely. So what do you feel like is the most rewarding aspect of this career?
It's not always the money, guys. Even though you might think it, it's every profession is different financially as well as what you will receive as a reward. For me, I'm into kids. I'm into kids and development of kids. This is very, very important to me. How they grow, the way they see the world, all comes through their visual system. The way they processes things, the emotion, everything depends on the visual perception, right? Visual recognition. So I can talk about so many ways that the eyes and the brain have to work together. And a lot of that starts from childhood development. So I have a passion for kids who have poor vision, who, when they get their first pair of glasses, it's going to change the way they function in the classroom. It's going to change the way they function on the field, in sports, on the basketball court. It's going to allow them to get those jobs that they wanted in the future that they may not have gotten, right, because now they didn't perform well. Or maybe they're a little shy and don't want to get up and go to the board to see. They're just going to sit in their desk, right, and just let the school day pass along. I want them to have confidence that what they see, what they can put their eyes to, they can put it to paper and also excel in the classroom. So kids have a soft spot in my heart because I want them to get the jobs and the degrees and the things they want. And I don't want it to be because they had a lazy eye and we didn't catch it earlier enough. Now their depth perception is off. Now they don't have good binocularity between the eyes. So that's a passion for me, like development from a young age into adulthood.
Absolutely. Now, what's the most challenging aspect?
I always say the most challenging aspect, I always tell people, is the people, right? Dealing with patients disgruntled for whatever reason. They could be having a bad day. We could be having a bad day. It can go either way. Dealing with parents. You're dealing with parents with children that they care so much about. And sometimes it can be like, not pressure per se, but like, hey, we want to get this right too. We care just as much as you care about your kid's vision. So, communication is it's a people's business, whether I'm dealing with my team members, whether I'm dealing with patients, or whether I'm communicating with some of my vendors. You're always constantly with people. So I tell people I used to be I call myself an extrovert. Now I'm an introvert, I feel like. When I'm done with the people, the world, and all this, I want to be in my own space with myself and my own thoughts. So typically I don't accept the invites to go places as much anymore, right? I'd rather just be out to myself in my yard in the lawn chair sunbathing or something.
I can sunbathe.
I'd have to take the shirt off. I'd be with sunscreen on.
Okay, who told you to do that in Florida?
Just did it.
He said, I just did it. Okay. That's how you know he's not from Florida, baby. You ain't never seen us get outside.
We ain't out there like that, but I did it. I was.
It was a one and done, huh?
I did 2 nights.
Two nights. Oh, 2 nights. Yeah.
No, not nights. I started with the sun.
At what time did you go?
The sun was out when I did it.
Ooh. And how did that go for you?
It's still good. I would still be doing it if a bird did crap on my seat.
Oh yeah, you knew. Yep. He said, hey, you're out here at my house.
Yeah.
Don't let me catch you out here no more.
I was in his space.
Okay. And I saw you left, right? Oh, and Debo was coming.
And I ain't been back.
Oh, right. I thought so. Get off my block.
Right.
Oh.
But I do like to be out in the nature. That's my thing. I like to be. When it comes to me, the stressful part is sometimes dealing with people, so I like to then wind down
and breathe. Yeah. And how does it feel for you, because you're not from Florida? And I know you did go to school down south, but now that I know Brevard County is a different pace from being down there.
Oh yeah.
How was it for you here?
I tell people that anywhere is better than where I grew up at, that small country town, right? So, and I still love my hometown, don't get me wrong, but it's a big world out there. So going down to Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, that's fast paced, right? I can do it, but it's not something I want to do every day. Melbourne, Brevard County is more of a slower pace, but still bigger than West Southern Arkansas where I grew up. So this gives me a little bit of that, not city, but we got more restaurants I can go to, more things I can do on the weekend, festivals going on. So it gives me more than what I had. And coming from a small town, anything can make me happy. It ain't gonna take a whole lot. So at the end of the day, I'm happy where we are right now.
Do you take advantage of being close to the beach?
Not at all. You ain't see me out in the sand.
He said, no, not at all.
Live right 15 minutes from the beach and probably go once or twice a year. Want to go more, so when I do get out there, I'm like, dang, this is refreshing. I wish I did it more. But actually, the hustle and bustle of getting to the beach, the things you have to prepare and do after the beach, the cleaning, the sand, the stickiness, the car getting totally destroyed, by the way. So, and with 4 kids, so it ain't making it no easier. So a beach day is one of those things where it's planned, and I might as well be living 3 hours away from the beach because I don't go as much as I should.
Oh, I can see that because it's probably a lot to bust up the kids. Let's get out here. You got to give them the pep talk before we get out there.
Sand in the eyes.
Okay, rinse my eyes. Now I'm in the water.
I'm not having fun for real. I ain't really enjoying it.
I'm on daddy duty. I can't even get out here.
Relaxing at the beach when I'm with the kids. So it's always make sure you don't go too far deep. Don't get in the water. Hey, stay back here. You're yelling all the time.
All the time.
So make sure you get them back home safely is what I try.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm. And then I know you've kind of touched on this before, but what do you feel like you were contributing to society, or what difference are you making?
For me, the biggest thing I did in optometry school, one of the biggest things I did was I attended a mission trip to Managua, Nicaragua. And that allowed me to see like what it was like to serve and give up my time without receiving anything in return. And really, you do receive something in return. You receive a little bit of humbleness, of like gratitude and thankfulness of what you have here in the United States when you travel other places that don't have access to things that we do. So one of the things I want to do if I ever open up a private practice, which I did, I wanted to do mission trips. So we do have a mission wall right behind you. And right now we currently go to La Ceiba, Honduras for the past 3 years. We actually going to go on our 3rd mission trip next Friday. We leave out from June the 14th through the 22nd. So we'll be in Honduras for 1 week, and what we do is we get all of our glasses that we collect here, all of our drops and donations that we receive, we put all that together with luggage. We take a team there, and we're able to bless a lot of people with sight. So that's missions is a very big thing to me, and I'm excited about next week, getting ready to head out.
What do you do to get prepared yourself? I know, like you said, you're boxing up stuff, the glasses, any contacts. What are you doing?
It's a lot of work. So we actually started in January. We get a lot of boxes of glasses from the Lions Club. We go through every box and we look through the frames and we pick out what's good and what's usable. I tell them if we won't wear it, we won't take it. Okay, very, very important. We're giving quality stuff to people. So we go through all. It takes months to do it because we're also working, but we go through and we sort through the glasses. We read the prescription on every single pair of glasses that's usable, and we tag it. Once we tag it, we bag it, and then we take them through the cleaning process, which we're in the cleaning process right now, which is that third phase. So that's kind of like preparation for the glasses side of it. Of course, you need equipment. If I'm gonna be over there, I need my portable equipment, my thermoscope. I need my portable auto refractors, right? I need doctors to be able to be there to kind of help me along the way, right? So we take a lot of equipment there, lots of glasses that we take, and also through nonprofit organizations like AmeriCares or Restoring Vision, you're able to get like your drops, refresh tears, glaucoma drops for patients. You're able to get sunglasses if you need, readers if you need. So they offer so many things that we're able, allergy drops that we're able to give patients there, who a lot of them will have eye conditions like pterygium, extreme dry eye because they're in dusty environments. So from not only glasses, we try to give everybody a pair of glasses, a pair of sunglasses, and at least a dry eye drop because everybody has dry eye. We know that, right? Everybody got dry eye.
Absolutely. Now that's fire. So what are some things that you like to do outside of work? What are your hobbies, favorite activities?
My biggest thing has always been traveling, and I believe in traveling. My office knows that I will take a trip on you, right? We're going to shut it down. We might close the book. We might reschedule some things, right? I will do it, right? Because I feel like it's a work-life balance, and I'll work every quarter. I got to go somewhere every quarter. So I'll work consistently, but I have dates in mind, like I'm going to take a trip in during this time. So like to see culture, like to get out and see what the world has to offer. I always say if I couldn't travel, I probably wouldn't work, right? So it kind of funds my habit of like being able to see something new, get excited about something in the world. Like it's a big world out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Where did you go this first quarter?
This first quarter, I actually went to Costa Rica, which I've been to Costa Rica before, but it's different it depends on who you go with, what time of year that you go, whether it's wet or dry season, and what activities they have going on. But I visited Costa Rica for about 4 days, 3 nights, just a quick turnaround trip. Usually I can close off as a day or two and go into my weekend. Mm-hmm. So it gives me about 4 days to travel close. You know, anywhere around here is not far to fly down there. 2 or 3 hours, you're where you want to be.
100%. I love how you're like, just a little quick trip to Costa Rica.
Yeah, I was going to say like across the state.
He was like, nah, we international around here. We catching flights, okay? So we are out of town.
Look, it's sometimes cheaper to go out the country.
It is. The way things are looking now, might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Mm-hmm. So I was just if you got the days off, you take them. So last weekend I went to, 2 weeks ago, went to the Indy 500, first time in Indiana, seeing that race live. From the tailgating to getting inside the arena, over 350,000 people. That was a great experience. Before that, I visited Ohio. Just visited a fair and did a 5K in Ohio because we partnered with a team, Jeremiah 38 Ministries. Part of their fundraising is to do a 5K to raise money for mission trips, and we wanted to go there and support. So we showed up and we ran the 5K and we hung out with the weekend with them. Week before that, I was in Mexico on a family trip with my family. First time taking the kids out of the country. They got their first passport stamp, right? We had a great time on the resort. Great time. They enjoyed it.
Do you feel like that's one of the best things that you can say that you get coming from becoming an optometrist and having your own practice, is that you get to you have that work-life balance where when you get home, you can go into daddy mode. You can take your kids on trips. You're like there with them for these moments.
I think, yes and no. So when I always say if I take out work, I'm not getting paid, right? Mm-hmm. But I make sure my staff is able to still come to work because they expect to have a full-time or part-time position. Because I want to travel does not mean I can change how their life looks, right?
Absolutely.
So I have to take that in mind. Like I said, I still have to pay my team. Hopefully we make some money that day when I'm gone, right? I still don't get paid those days, so ain't no PTO for me. Right? If I take off, I count that as a daily loss or whatever I would have possibly made that day. So there's some drawbacks to it, but that's why you plan for that. That's why you plan for what's coming up next, so it doesn't feel like a loss. So for me, it's going to always be travel and explore the world while I'm young. Because even if I make all the money in the world, when I'm older, my body may not do it. My body won't be able to do those thrill-seeking activities, So I'd rather do it now. Right?
Your knees can't take all that kind
Your
of
knees
stuff.
can't
now.
even take a flight,
Ooh,
right?
that'll do it.
Let's be real. So I try to do everything while I'm young because I don't know. Nobody knows how much time we got. So
Absolutely. And then what TV shows, movies, books, what are some things that you love to watch or get into after a long day of work? I know you said you just like to be in your own head and your own thoughts by yourself. What do you like to do?
I watch stuff. You know, I always watch. I always go back to my old school stuff a lot. So if I'm just wanting something in the background, just passing the time while I'm doing other stuff, I might have Martin Lawrence playing in the background. You know what? I might have Fresh Prince in the background, something like that. You know, just some old school stuff. I'm really into forensic files, documentaries. I'm really big on any type of documentary. I will watch it. Right. Cold case files. I like stuff like that, right? I got it playing in the back right now. So between patients, I'm watching forensic files, right? And then next patient ready, right? That's what I really do in the back. So I like stuff like that. I like I say, documentaries. I like to read about or watch about people's lives, even though it might not be like the book. I like to kind of watch the storyline of where people came from and how they got to where they are today.
Absolutely. No responsibilities minus the kids. Where would you see yourself?
If I didn't need the job,
Like money was just endless, or you didn't need any money. Maybe the world runs on smiles.
I can give a smile.
Okay,
More smiles, man. Now I always tell patients, do you love what you do? I do very much enjoy what I do, but I feel like I love doing a lot of other things. It's not like that thing like I'm passionate. I want to do the right thing and get it right. But also, if you tell me you want to be at work today or you want to go fly off to, I don't know, Indonesia, I'm going to take the trip. Just to be honest with you. So for me, it's just exploring, having an open mind. It's so much that I have not seen, so much that I haven't been introduced to, even from a profession standpoint. I was introduced to optometry. But then I learned later so many other professions that I knew nothing about. Maybe I would have pursued those other things as well. Whether it's a passion or financial gain or whatever it may be, I was like, wow, if I'd have known it, I'd have done this or I'd have done that, right? That's why it's important to me all about exposure, especially from a young age. Get your kids out there and let them know and experience what is it? Is it just what I see or is there so many other broader things out there? So for me, I'm going to just live my life. I think I will still work because most people who retire go back to work for something. They just don't want to sit at home.
Absolutely.
So for me, I feel like I might still work a day or two. But if the world ran on smiles, man, what would I don't even know if I would be living here. I would definitely be an expat. I would live in different countries. I've always thought about ways to move to other countries for 3 months at a time and still be able to make an income to be able to enjoy myself in those places. So expating for me is a real thing. It is a real thing for my family to be able to live in other cultures and see how other people live and kind of embrace that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now let's say we love the kids, but now let's say the kids aren't here and the world's still running on smiles. What would you be doing other than smiling at people?
The kids aren't here. You know what? Kids are a blessing. They are. And I've traveled with my family and I've traveled without my family. And a part of my peace is me being alone with myself sometimes. So sometimes that may be me going somewhere for a day or two to refresh myself before I go back to work on a Monday morning. So if it was just me, I don't know. It's hard because I'm so used to giving of my time, giving of my finances, giving of whatever it is that it's hard to think about me just being me. Because then I'm going to be more self-centered, self-seeking. And that could sometimes, depending on what I'm into, could be self-destructive, right? So the kids definitely keep you grounded from a sense to where, hey, I'm responsible for this person's upbringing. I'm responsible for memories that we create with them. I'm responsible for a lot of decisions they may or may not make in the future. So it definitely makes you grow up faster. So just me, myself, I can't even picture me. Even though I lived most of my life, just me, right? Yeah. But I was always attaining to reach a goal. But me out of school, a doctor at 28 years old, no wife, no kids, I might be off the chain. I might be unchained.
I'm outside.
Outside, but the Lord knew what I needed.
He said, hey, I need you to sit down real
I
quick.
need you to slow down. Let's
Okay.
go do it. Let's go do it.
Go ahead and log off for me.
Hey, look, he
had to take you out the streets real quick.
You got to tap me on the shoulder sometimes.
Hey, did you forget?
But yeah, it's definitely been a blessing because he's definitely had grace on my life. So,
Amen.
yeah.
That's great. All right, so let's do this thing. Now we're going to make us a TV show.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we're going to have Cortez's Corner. You see this, right? Get into it. What would be the theme song for this TV show?
And we joked about this before, because I like certain type of artists or rappers that I grew up on. Usually Southern, from Memphis, Tennessee area. So the Yo Gotti's, the Project Pass, 3-6 Mafia, all those, Young Dolph. So it's a lot of artists that I listen to on the daily. Not necessarily always good for my soul and my spirit, but I do. It's part of how I grew up. So it's in me a little bit. Okay, so I would say Bricks.
Okay.
I'm rocking with Bricks by Yo Gotti. I'm rocking with that.
Now, let me ask you, what does it do for you? Do you feel like it's motivating you, or it just puts you in that mode where, like, I know I got to grind this thing out?
It's going to put me in the mindset of, which I don't sell, I don't do any of that stuff, but I always say it's a mindset, right? Even though they rap about certain things that I don't promote or agree with, it's the mindset about grinding. I'm not here slanging bricks, but, how do I become a businessman? Right? How am I make myself marketable? Right? How can I be a people person? How can I sell eyewear? Right? How can I make things valuable for the person that's in front of me and not make it about me? What do people see value in what I'm offering? Right? So for me, that's going to be my way of reaching a certain status in life, whether it's financially, whether it's when they've been a millionaire, having 2 or 3, 4 companies out here, is because I have a way with people. I have a way with my communication. I have great bedside manners, and I believe that anything I start, I'll finish. So I'm always going to grind. I'm never going to quit. So for me, that song is a way to grind it, get it right. But for me, I'm a professional, so we're going to do it the right and legal way.
All right.
All the time. So yeah, that thing is more of like coming up as a kid. Like, you got to get out of here, right? You might not be able to stay here because it might not be much for you. So get out, leave, go to another state, leave a small town that you've never done before. Go meet new people, right? Get in environments and learn how to make it for yourself. And that's kind of like the inspiration for me.
Fire. So what advice would you give a student who's interested in optometry?
I'm going to always say, and this is what they always say, like, you're not going to get rich being an optometrist. No, but you will have a very comfortable lifestyle, and you will have a very rewarding lifestyle being able to help people with their sight. Okay, it's one of the senses no one wants to lose is your sight. You give up other stuff, but you want to be able to see if you can. And I've seen many patients who've had sight and then lost it, and it's like their world is ending. They lose a lot of being able to daily activity of life is what I like to call it, is diminished. So for me, that's going to be
Big one.
It's going to be a big one for me. Probably a 2-part of that, but I'm trying to bring it all together.
We're juggling. We're juggling the bricks of thought.
Yeah,
that's all right.
We're doing that. All light bricks.
Okay.
Light tan bricks.
Just hit a lick. Okay.
50-volt bricks. Balling like a with all these bricks. All right now.
Like a spiritual something. Just shakes you up. Like, let's get into it.
Look, so I like it. So yeah, but optometry is awesome. I enjoyed it. Actually, now that I'm in it, I really can't see what else would I want to do. If you say I got to go do something else, the work you put in is worth it. It's rigorous. It's not easy. Passing 3 parts of boards and a state licensure is very challenging. So when you get that degree, you know that, hey, this is the beginning of something real. And when you graduate, they tell you don't know everything. You was good enough. You had the minimal requirements to get out of here. It is a long-term and ongoing process of learning. Science changes, technology changes. The way we view things in the 80s are different from now. So you're always learning, which is why continuing education in the medical field is very, very important. It keeps you sharp, keeps your tools sharp. So Optometry does provide a space for families. If you're a lady working 3 days a week, you're still going to be living pretty well, right? You got time to have a family as also work part time, right? So for men, 4 days a week, that's full time for me, right? 4 days a week is good enough, and I take the other half of the week off. I think that's a good work life balance, right? I'm not doing that now. I'm still 5 6 days a week, but the goal is to get me down a little bit. Okay, so I will say that there is something rewarding to say like, hey, I have a high paid 9 to 5 that I can be off by 5 and go have a family, go have a life, right? Part of the deal breakers for even my wife was, hey, I can't be with a medical doctor in the hospital setting, right? They're there 24 hours a day. They're there on clock. That's all they think about, right? There's not a lot of space for family when you're in certain professions, being in the military or being in certain. It's just not. So you got to know who you with. You got to know your person and see, is that something I want? Optometry gives you that work life balance, and you're still very very comfortable.
Nice. So what advice would you give to a student who's interested in STEM, but they don't know what subject or what topics that they like or that they're good at just yet?
Exposure. I think exposure. Always giving something a fair shot, even if you think you don't like it, man. Sometimes you're against something, and then you start doing it, and you're like, I'm actually having fun doing this, right? You don't want to tell nobody because you rejected it, but then just putting yourself out there and saying, hey, I'm not going to turn my eye away from this because I think I'm not interested in it, right? So yeah, just pushing through it. And I always say, no matter what you do, finish it, right? Finish it. If you start it, finish it. Don't change your major too often, right? Pick something and finish it through. I found that a lot of people, even in college, will get to a certain point. I don't like this. Well, we're junior year. We're in year 3. You got to start all the way over, and it sets you back. Pick a career path. It's not always about the money either. I want to say that. But if you want to have hobbies and things you like to do, it's good to have a profession that makes money so that you can invest and do the hobbies and things that you like to do, right? It kind of saves you a little time.
Absolutely. And then where can parents or students go if they want to learn more about you, your profession, the company, anything like that?
Oh yeah, so you can always visit us here at Simply C. We're at 1573 South Wickham Road. We're located in West Melbourne, Florida. We are pediatric friendly, starting at ages 3 and up. We'll see y'all until 100 till you got it here, okay? But we do have a soft spot in our hearts for the kids. Optometry, anything you want to know about optometry, you can always email me, dr.cortezlewis@yahoo.com. That's the email that I check every day. So if you want to get in touch with me, that is a way to do it. Okay, you can always stop by the office. This is a very laid back setting. You walk in the door, we're going to greet you. We're going to make you feel like family, and you can ask any question you want to ask. I'm pretty flexible. I'm always walking back and forth, so you can stop me at any point in time. Okay, so optometry. You want to know more about optometry? Just kind of like doing your research, seeing what schools are out there, seeing where you may want to live. Visiting the American Optometric Association, getting involved with optometry-related organizations within your community. Even before you get to be an optometrist, there are pre-optometry programs you can be a part of. So, yeah.
I love that. So y'all heard it once, and I'm gonna tell you again. You must come here. Come to Simply See. I can't see you anywhere else.
Hey, I don't know where you're gonna go. All right. Hey, but when you come here, I'm telling you, you're coming back. You're coming back.
I've been back 3-4 times. Like,
look, can't get rid of it, can I?
Look, I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to get in where I fit in, and I fit in. Hello. I'm waiting on y'all to get here. Meet me here.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cortez Lewis, for being here with us. Any final words for the kids or anybody watching?
Hey, blessings, blessings, blessings. You guys just finished another school year. This is time for the summer. You guys be safe. Have all the fun you can and be ready to prepare for next year. You can always come out of the office for shadowing. But just kind of, I'll let you sit in the back. We'll sign some forms off. You can watch and see. That's how I learned that this is what I wanted to do. You can come and sit in the corner and you can watch, hey, what is he doing? You may not understand what I'm doing, but being able to see, can I see myself doing this thing, right? So that's an important thing that was important to me. Shadowing, getting around the environment to say, hey, is this something I want to commit to long term? And always just, again, finish what you start, right? Don't give up. Be disciplined. You got to have discipline. You got to have grit. You got to be consistent, right? consistency is everything, right? Right? Consistently doing the same thing correctly over and over, you're going to get results, right? So just not giving up on yourself and knowing that you can do it.
That was wonderful. All right, guys. So I'll see you on the next episode. See ya.
All right.